Hello everyone. Today we are really pleased to present all of you about our internship report on the topic of teacher of English at Unsai National High School, which was conducted by the three of us. The first one is me, Mr. Thon Ha, a student majoring in teaching English as a foreign language of Cambodian Mekong University.
Okay, my name is Thon Palayan. My majoring is teaching English as a foreign language.
And my name is Yusef. I'm a student majoring in teaching of English as a foreign language.
And this presentation will be wholly conducted by me, and from the beginning until to the end. And I would like to start our presentation now. Okay, our internship report will cover the 6 chapters. The first one, chapter 1, is about introduction. The chapter 2 is about literature review. The chapter 3 is about internship plan. The chapter 4 is about the detail of the internship report. The chapter 5 is about result and discussion. And the last chapter 6 is about conclusion and recommendation. Chapter 1 is about the introduction. We will present all of you about the background of study, the background of our internship. The next we will present about Unsai National High School profile and the internship job description and also the significance of internship. In the angle for the Cambodian government written for strategy presented by Prime Minister Hun Sen in the third mandate from 2008-2013, public education is one of the significant points to be highlighted. So, besides private school, how the public school, where there are lacks of material applied teaching methodology, and how teachers respond to that. Unsai National High School profile. Unsai National High School is a public school located on the National Road number 4 in the Oslo district at Bandar Province. And Unsai National High School was officially inaugurated on November 18, 1987 and presided over by the school director, Mr. Hong Chung. And about our internship job description, I would like to tell all of you that the internship will be a 7-week internship that is taken place at Unsai National High School from September 1 to 2012 to June 16, 2012. The internees are responsible for teaching English to students at grade 12 and from the grade 8 to grade 9. From that lasts from Monday to Saturday for every week. We do as the following. The first one, prepare lesson plan and necessary material, establish work environment in classroom, cooperate with English teacher here, and do the report to the school director. The significance of the internship is that the internship will allow all the internees, especially the 3 of us, to fulfill the requirement to graduate the bachelor degree of teacher of English at the university. And another significant point for this internship is that the internship will be the crucial time that allow the internee to become a good teacher in the future. And about chapter 2, literature review, we will talk about the motivation, student motivation, teacher, classroom, and rapport building. As we know, student motivation is an essential element that is necessary for quality of education. And as Robert Scholar, the expert of education, said that you will not be able to push anyone up the ladder unless he is willing to climb by himself. In this context of view, the motivation cannot be achieved without considering the student factor, especially student motivation. And if there is no motivation for the student, as we say, the teacher cannot play any role in a success education. Student motivation can be enhanced when the sector pertinent to students are present. The first one is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. That is the involvement, the desire to be involved, curiosity and challenge and social interaction. That is called intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. For about extrinsic motivation or factor may be composed of the compliance, that means to meet another's expectation or do what one is told, or recognition, that means to be publicly acknowledged, competition and work avoidance, etc. And there are various individual and social factors besides that. Overall academic motivation is affected by various individual and social factors like finding job after finishing their study, a family problem, preference to choose school, etc. For number 2.3 about teacher, we will talk about what is teacher. With the reference to Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary 2003, teacher is someone whose job is to teach in school or college. And the characteristic of a good teacher will be composed of the following points. The first one is a good teacher is a consumer of knowledge. Some others say a good teacher is a well-prepared one. A good teacher can be a listener, a good listener. A good teacher can be a good motivator. A good teacher is a fair person. And a good teacher must have a sense of humor. And also a good teacher has a passion for teaching. The role of the teacher. What is the most important role of the teacher? As we are talking here, the role of the teacher, there are many roles of the teacher. The first one, teacher will play a role as a controller. As we know, the teacher will have the responsibility to control the class. So he must be a role in doing class management very well. The second one is a teacher will play a role as a facilitator. As we know, teacher can facilitate the student to learn. The more the teacher know the strategy to help the student, the more the student learn. And also the teacher is a resources. The teacher can be not only a resources like a book, but the teacher is like we can call a life sources. And another one, teacher is a manager. Teacher has to manage not only the class problem, but also the student or the individual student problem. Another one, teacher is an assessor. Teacher has to assess all the students' work, or the students' performance, and what their students learn. And also, teacher play a role as an organizer. The last one, teacher is also a participant. At this point, we can see that teacher not only teach, but also he is a participant in the classroom also. About classroom. What is classroom? Teacher has too many classroom management techniques to control the class effectively and efficiently. Teacher arrange student seat. Teacher show the gesture to attract the student. Teacher use his or her voice loudly and clearly. Teacher use his or her recommend for the student. Teacher have to remember the student's name. Teacher also demonstrate the student than just telling them. And teacher also need to build a good rapport building. Rapport is the relationship or the connection you establish with your student. It also is a relationship that is built on trust and respect that lead to the students feeling capable, competent, creative, according to King and all 2005. For the chapter 3, I will present all of you about our internship plan. What will we do in our internship? The first one is the history of the school location that we choose. We chose Konsai School High School that have the location in Padang province and have the history like the following. Since the era of Kingdom of Cambodia in Songpon Reniyong 1956 until the Khmer Republic of Learn Origin 1975, Honsai Onslow district has no college for higher education. And then there was only one lower high school named Prairie Balang High School that is located in Phnom Penh, Bachelor Commune. And from January 7, 1979, the liberation day of Cambodia from the genocide regime, there was only high school, that is Jumbo 1, that located in Bangkok district, and then it was separated from Onslow district in 1986. That's why later that year the district committee announced the plan to submit the proposal to build a high school in Premlo village and Maduro village in Baijan commune along the national road number 4 to the Ministry of Education. And then on 18 November 1987, the ministry approved the plan and issued a decision number 135 to build the Honsai Onslow High School. So far, the school has changed its name as the following. From 18 November 1987 to 19 November 1990, it is called Srok Phnom Penh Upper Secondary School. And from 19 November 1990 to 6 August 2001, it is called Srok Phnom Penh High School. And from 6 September 2001 so far, it is called Honsai Onslow High School. The present situation, the Honsai Onslow High School is located on the National Road number 4 in the Onslow district, Gondar province. It was opened on September 18, 1987, and is now highly presided over by the school director, Mr. Chong. And also we will show you on the slide about the school data, all the staff, and all the facility here. There are one office building, one library, school, football, volleyball, basketball, as usual. And for the internship activity, our internship is started from September 1, 2012, and will be completed. The school data, all the staff, and all the facility here. There are one office building, one library, school, football, volleyball, basketball, as usual. And for the internship activity, our internship is started from September 1, 2012, and will be completed on June 16, 2012. The total hour per week is 48 hours per week, and the total hour for the internship is 200, not less than 240 hours. This is the internship plan. We can show you about the activity by week that we have done. The first week, the second week, the third week, the fourth week in May and June. Overall, we can say the internship plan activity are like the first week we have to contact the school director. We have to seek the operation from teacher there. We have to prepare lesson for the class from not only grade 12 but from grade 8 to grade 12. And the second week we have to prepare lesson plan and hand out, review and remind students about their homework, prepare quiz, and also we do the report to the director. And for the next week and the next week we teach as usual. This is the schedule that we have managed for among the three of us when to teach. And firstly, this for me is the formal time, and I teach on Monday, Friday, and Saturday. This is for Mr. Yogisat, and this is for Mr. Kongan. Okay, why we need to do this internship? The intern need obtain experience about teaching methodology and technique, and that's why the internship is absolutely related to our nature of teaching. And the source of information can be withdrawn from secondary data and primary data. The primary data is The data that we can interview with the teacher here, we can ask the student in the class, or we can do a questionnaire. And for the secondary data, we can take some data from the school director about the school profile, etc. For the objective, this is our internship learning objective. The first one, our internship is objective for seeking out skill and qualification from the internship. To seek out skill and qualification means that the internship process will lead the internee teacher to get more qualification on teaching English, so that students will get more opportunity to improve their skill and get more experience in English teaching. During this internship process, internee also learn a lot of knowledge and know about the communication skill in teaching English field, that the internee gain the real experience and the real contact classroom, and also the confidence, to be confident of the internee in doing this internship as well. Another one is to find out what responsibility related or given to the internship of position. What is the responsibility? Before conducting internship at Bachelor High School, the internee had planned a very strict curriculum on teaching English. However, the school, High School, offer a chance for them to conduct the internship there, and that's why they have encountered more experience and responsibility beside of that curriculum. As we have observed, the internee have found all the teachers of English here. They have to respond to all the student activity, students' implementation, and student achievement during teaching classroom. Also, teacher of English have to respond to the exam test, such as quiz, monthly test. Sometimes teacher have to respond to something that affect to the school principal as well. Another objective is to identify how the internship activity influence one's future career plan. We can identify that this internship activity really influence our capability in the future career teaching. Internship provide them the opportunity to test their interest, how they like their teaching in a particular career before permanent commitment are made. Also, internship will develop skill in the application of theory to practical work situation. This is also the opportunity to prepare internee to adapt to the working environment, especially inside the public high school. On the other hand, they have learned about the advantage and disadvantage as being a teacher, as well as learn about their strength and weakness as being a new teacher. The last objective is to describe how the internship activity carried out correlated with the classroom knowledge. Classroom activity at High School offer many advantages to all the students in the classroom, such as description of their knowledge, expression of ideas, and sharing information to the class. Teachers try to carry out their activity and make a good communication in the classroom. Also, teachers make a group discussion, homework, prepare quiz, etc. Those activities correlate to classroom knowledge that all the internees have just learned from their university, such as classroom management, such as about test preparation, etc. Moreover, internship learning objective provides students to get more experience and several benefits, such as getting more confident in teaching English, advice, and some technique in English teaching. Furthermore, after the internee have conducted internship, they can evaluate themselves, such as the strength and the weakness of their teaching criteria. The strength. Here is the strength. Before teaching, internee have planned, have prepared lesson plan, and found the extra document that related to the lesson. Depending on the classroom plan, the internee can take properly and finish lesson as expected. After knowing the capacity of the student, the internee will be able to become flexible to change their technique and try to explain with the simple word. Because as we know, the public school student may not have much knowledge about English. And also, the member can change the experience of technique due to the situation, and also the internee can know how to be a good teacher and how to react with the student. The weakness is that the environment of the classroom was not a good environment as we have learned in our university. As we know, in the public high school, the class is really hot. It is small, it is quite dirty. The student can form a group work, especially they are shy or they cannot be able to adapt in such environment. They were difficult to move, as we know, they were difficult to move the chair. They don't want to change the chair, they don't want to make a group discussion as well. And another one is that some students are from a very difficult background, and that's why they may have not much material in study also. For example, they don't have even the book, they don't have even the pen. And another one, they sometimes could not even understand what the teacher was talking about, and that the teacher found that it is really difficult. For chapter 4, I will present all of you about the details of our internship. The first one is about establishment of Consign Homeschool High School. Consign Homeschool High School is a public school providing education service for free to all kinds of students. The internee choose the high school for their fulfillment to accomplish their graduation in the field of English as for language at Cambodian Mekong University. Because it is a public school, which is widely considered to having a very poor and low standard of learning, and also the facility here is really seldom, and the internee are keen to know how they can solve their problem in such a struggling situation. Our goal of internship is after finishing our internship, the student become a good citizen in society. The skill and knowledge that students have absorbed must be practical. Students are qualified enough to pursue their higher education. And our mission is, in order to achieve this goal, we have the following mission. The first one is to ensure the process of providing the general knowledge to all students. The second one is to improve the quality of education as a part of the effort of the Cambodian government. Our vision is that Consign Homeschool High School will keep track on providing general knowledge, social, moral, and other vocational training skills to the students in the district. Teacher of English of internship at Consign Homeschool High School. As we know, the internee has been able to conduct the internship here because there was a help from Mr. Paul Sikira, who is our friend, and he worked here. And after having gained access to the internship there, the internee are asked to teach English to the students from grade 8 to grade 12. The difficulty and the problem. There are a lot of difficulty and problem in the public school situation, as we already know. But the most important one that we found is the lack of teaching and learning facility. And some students are unmoral. Some of them are quite stubborn to be taught. For the working environment here, we can appreciate the working environment here. Although there are lacking of many facility, and also we can find the air, the environment there is quite difficult, such as the air, the hot, and the class, etc. And anyway, although it is a public school where teachers get low pay job, and the internee were content, were really happy and keen to become a teacher there very soon, because all the teachers and staff they are really well communicated, and the working environment between the school director and the internee is really well. For chapter 4, it is the result and the discussion. For the result, as we can show you the data here, if we do the research on how the listening skill, the reading skill, the writing skill, and the speaking skill is found difficult or easy in the student. From this result, we can see that most of the students found it is really difficult in listening, while some of the students find it is much easy in writing. For this problem, as we know, in the class there is a lack of facility. That's why the students have a rare chance to practice their listening, and as a consequence, the student found listening skill is really difficult. And also, the student in public school can only study by writing and by the teacher, listening to the teacher and writing. That's why the student prefer writing. This is the detailed problem and some solution that we have found during our internship conduct. Students, the first one is student discipline. For the student discipline, the student in public school does not respect the teacher much. They are noisy, they talk, they distract, or something like that. But as a response, as a good teacher, we does not feel any irritating with them, but just ask them to challenge the knowledge. And also, sometimes we ignore them if we cannot hear them, and sometimes we raise some interest in topic in order to attract their interest. The second problem is students' lack of motivation. As we know, students in public school get really lack of motivation because they don't know what they are studying for. As a solution, we have to teach them about the future career. If they want to be a teacher, they have to try to learn English, etc. If they want to study medical, they have to be competent in biology and chemistry, etc. That's why the student, we build up the students' internal encouragement, so the student can get more motivation. The third one is students' lack of confidence. Responding to this, we offer time and chance to students to talk in the class. We arrange the group discussion, and also we make them prepare to get up their confidence. Discussion. After collecting all the results above, the internee have noticed that intrinsic motivational factors like the lack of civic pleasure in the classroom might have played a role to discourage students from learning listening skill. Mr. Robert Schuller said, "You cannot push anyone up the ladder unless he is willing to climb himself." In this context of view, the word motivation, especially extrinsic factor, cannot be achieved without considering the student encouragement or the student or motivation. They don't tend to learn hard while a lack of learning material. So this result is definitely much with what Mr. Ruwa has said. Regarding to teacher factor, when student lack of confidence and motivation, the internee must be quickly reflect to respond to this situation, like shown in the result above, that the internee have to act like they are one of the members of the student. They have to participate well. They do not need to classify or behave like they are a matrix. That's why the student feel close, and the student like the teacher. The student have confidence to ask the teacher as well. For addressing, students can feel warm and relaxed in studying. When the internee feel in complete control over their students' behavior when they lose such confidence and motivation in the class. In particular, this is very true to the statement of teacher's role. We say that one of the teacher's role is the participant. For chapter 5, conclusion and recommendation. As a conclusion, the internship is a good chance for all the internees, especially the student majoring in teaching. Because if we learn only the theory, how to teach, what is the approach that we may use in teaching, but when we don't go to the real situation, we cannot understand the feeling, we cannot see how can we conduct those theory. And that's why I can say the internship is a gold chance for all the internees to be a professional teacher. Here are our recommendations after we have finished our internship year. After we have applied all the standard, all the methodology, all the technique here, we found that many good points happen, but also some few bad points that need to be constructed. The remarkable point are the morality of the student, the participation of the staff and the school director, the good discipline of most of the students there. For this point, I really appreciate the students at Bonsai National High School. Most of them are really moral. They respect the teacher very well. Only some of them that consider stubborn. In response to this good point, the internee would like to give a strong encouragement to the leader of the school and also to all the other teachers who are teaching there to pursue this good culture, good tradition for their international high school. And I am really proud for being a teacher there, and thank you for your